Hi, in this video we'll be discussing about one of the most exciting careers in healthcare industry, that is medical coding. We'll be giving you every detail, the step-by-step method, how you can be medical coder, how you can take advantage of the jobs and opportunities that companies are ready to provide you, and how quickly you can transform your career into a successful medical coding careers. Okay, so we'll be discussing step by step, so do watch the video till the end. The video might be a bit long, but have patience. We have given you enough information. If you miss the video, you might not get the opportunity again. So do watch it so that you consume all the information, then only you can put it into action, because we have also given you the tricks to become a medical coder. So if you missed few part of the video, then you might miss on that opportunity. So now let's jump into the actual slide. I'll be taking you through the step-by-step method. So now let's jump in.
One of the most exciting career in the global healthcare industry. Uh, Being in the healthcare industry itself is one of the best decisions that you can take, because this is an industry where there is no recession ever. So by deciding to be a part of this industry, you have taken the correct decision. Now we'll be discussing the best and one of the best careers in the global healthcare industry, and that is medical coding. So in this video, we'll be discussing about what medical coding is, and what are the career opportunities in medical coding. As a medical coder, what you need to do, and how you can grow your career as a medical coder, and what are the opportunities lies ahead in front of you, both in India and globally. So we'll be discussing it step by step. So let's jump in. First, let's understand what medical coding is about. So medical coding is about transformation of or conversion of diagnosis, whatever the diagnosis that you see. You go to a doctor and doctor diagnose you with certain disease. Then doctor does some procedure, some tests, maybe MRI, CT scan, ultrasound, and then they use some sort of medical equipment to carry out those tests. So everything that you see in a medical system, in a healthcare system, conversion of those into alphanumeric codes. There are set codes set by WHO into this the conversation, the transformation of these diagnosis test and everything into alphanumeric codes. So that is what briefly medical coding is all about. Then we need to understand what is the benefits of learning medical coding, which we'll be covering later in this video. But before this, let's understand what are the types of code that medical coding provides. So there are three types of code. First is the ICD, International Classification of Diseases. So under ICD, there are, I think, whatever the diseases that you can think of, uh, whichever disease that comes to your mind, whatever diseases that exist in this world, all come under ICD. So ICD takes care of all the diseases. Then second is that CPT, current procedural terminology, all the tests, radiological test, all your blood test, all MRI, CT scan, ultrasound that you can think of comes under CPT. So ICD takes care of diseases, CPT takes care of the test, and HCPCS takes care of all the equipments that are used in a healthcare system. So there are basically three types of medical codes. Now you know what medical coding is. Medical coding is the alphanumeric codes of conversion of diseases, uh, test and everything into alphanumeric codes, and these are the types of code. So if there is a disease, that will be converted to ICD. If there is a test, it will be converted to CPT. So it's as simple as that. I have given here some simple example. So now let's I'll tell you a just small case study. For example, you have stomach pain and you go to a doctor, and doctor does some test, maybe ultrasound or something, and they found out that you have appendicitis. So doctor decided that you need to remove the appendix. So they did a appendectomy. Okay, it's a small example. So what doctor did? Doctor did some test and they found out that you have appendicitis. Then doctor tried appendectomy. Doctor performed appendectomy. So instead of the entire medical report, because once you undergo a surgery and then you get discharged, so you get a discharge summary, so it's a big report. So instead of that report, if these two reports are there, then anybody who is an end user of these medical coding things, they will be able to understand it. For example, the ICD code will tell them that why you came to hospital. The reason you went to hospital is this K35.80, which is appendicitis. And what the doctor did to you is this. So it's simple. These are the two codes that will explain the entire trip of yours to the hospital. Why you went to hospital? Because of this appendicitis, and doctor performs the appendectomy. And how these things help in the healthcare system, we'll be discussing it in detail going ahead. Just to give you a brief, this will help the hospital as well as the insurance company to process your claims, insurance claims, and to keep your data in a proper manner. And the second usage of medical coding, which is very important, is that all your data, history, post medical history, family history, social history, everything is stored in the healthcare system so that the doctor will be able to give you a better healthcare. If the doctor does not know about your past medical history, he will not be able to give you the proper data, proper healthcare. So now let's understand when this medical coding started, the history of medical coding. So the medical coding is something that is not new. Medical coding started way back in 1948. 48, that means so many years back. So WHO started it just to compile the data of morbidity and mortality. Morbidity is the frequency of diseases, and mortality is what is the death rates happening because of those diseases. Just to compile those data, they had started it, and slowly they developed it into an ICD system, which is International Classification of Diseases. So they formed a manual ICD which will serve as a reference manual for every disease, and every country is supposed to use that. So, and over the years, they revised it several times, and now we are currently using ICD-10, which is the 10th revision of that manual, and it gets updated every 10 to 15 years. So, ICD, CPT, and other systems are working concurrently to make the healthcare system better worldwide. So now that you know what medical coding is and what is the history of medical coding, what are the types of medical codes are there, now you must be wondering what I need to do as a medical coder. If tomorrow I become a medical coder, what am I supposed to do? So now let's understand what are the role of a medical coder. What does medical coder do? So in the previous example that I gave you, you went to hospital and there is a appendicitis and you underwent a surgery. So then the medical record is generated. So as a medical record, what as a medical coder, what you need to do, you need to access that medical report. That will be maybe 2 3 pages of medical report. You need to study the medical report, you need to analyze the report and then code it. You need to abstract the information from the documentation, assign the appropriate codes, and then you need to create a claim. That is another process. So just to briefly remember what you need to do, you need to analyze the report, then you need to assign the code. This is the simple job of a medical coder, that the primary job of medical coder that do in the daily life. There are some other things involved, but just to make you understand as a fresher, I need to make you understand in that way. So I'll be giving a small example here of a sample report. I'll take a sample report here. Here you see a patient comes here in consultation with the doctor and he's having some issues of osteoarthritis of his right hip, and he will be taking an injection. So this is a sample report that you get. So what you need to do, you need to just analyze the report and code it properly. So we have coded this report here. So let's understand what it is. So I saw that impression of the doctor is that the patient is having osteoarthritis of the right hip, and the plan is the what we are supposed to do it. That we will perform an ultrasound guided injection of cortisone into the right hip. So here how the coding will happen here. So so this is how the coding will happen. This code in red, you see M16.11 is an ICD-10 code. That means a disease code. That's been osteoarthritis of the right hip. So this M16.11 is, you don't need to remember a single code. All codes are there in your system. All codes are there in the book. When you work, you'll be given provided sophisticated software where codes will be there. You just need to put this. Once you understand the report, you just put osteoarthritis in the software that you have in your computer system, and it will give you the code. You just need to click and it will be filled up. It is simple. Only thing that you are expected to do is that understand the report and give the correct code. So here I understood it as an osteoarthritis is the a problem, that the reason the patient came to the hospital and doctor gave him an injection. So this is the injection code, and there is another code which is saying is the patient is a, whether it's a new patient or old patient. So there are different codes for old patient and new patient. In this case, the patient seems to be an old patient, so they given this code. So all those things will be taught you during the training period how you can do it. Remember one thing, in medical coding, you do not need to remember a single thing. Only thing that you need to understand and know is the techniques and tricks of coding, how to code and what to code. All, and that's it. The more techniques and tricks you know, the better medical coder you become, more skilled coder you become, and you grow in that way. So this is a simple example of how a coding is done, right? I hope you understand till now. So now let's move to the next step. This is the system that I explained you a bit before, that how a medical coder does his day-to-day job. They retrieve the patient information, they do the pre-coding thing means analyzing the report, then they assign the codes. Once they assign the code, it goes to the quality auditor, who is your senior. They check for the codes, they check the correctness of the code, and then it passes to the customer, maybe for the end user, that means the insurance company or somebody like that. And if there are any changes, you implement the change. So it's a simple 60-year medical coding process that every medical coder has to undergo. You understand this so far? And now that you know what medical coding is, and as a medical coder, what you need to do, so now the biggest question in your mind would be, what is there for me as a professional or as a student? Why should I learn medical coding? Or why should I take up medical coding as a career? So now let's understand it. So we have taken few examples here. Here I'll be giving an example of why you should choose medical coding over few other careers of healthcare industry. So I'm taking an example of the pharmacy. If you are a pharmacy or a nursing student, or if you are somebody who is working in other healthcare sector, what are the things that you can see advantage of uh, in medical coding career versus other career? Now, these are the primary job parameters that you look for in any job: stability and career growth, and salary, and if you are doing a job, whether there is growth opportunity or not. And now, after COVID, everybody is looking for flexibility, whether they can work from home or anywhere. Is there any option available in that job? Then, of course, the work environment that matters a lot. And there is another thing, that whether your career is recognized or not. So we'll be discussing about this. So when you are in your industry career, in normal healthcare industry career, the career growth is a bit slower. But in medical coding, you get exponential growth of your career. And salary is most competitive, and after a year or two your salary will grow exponentially because this is a growth oriented career. So the more you are skilled, your salary, your compensation, your growth will be in that manner. So you can expect a very exponential growth over salary growth over other industry career. Then another important thing is that whether you are getting learning scope in that career, because if your career is stagnated, if you are not growing, then there is a chance that after 4 5 years you cannot grow beyond a certain level. But medical coding provides you a continuous learning opportunities, and you can equip yourself with various certifications, and those certifications and credential will give you more career opportunities going ahead. So there is a continuous learning opportunity. Then comes the most important thing, the job flexibility. The flexibility is what makes medical coding one of the most in-demand career, because you have the ability to work from anywhere, work from home, or work from wherever you want because of the nature of the job. Then work environment is something because you choose your own working space. So work environment is not an issue. Or even if you work in office, you work in corporate office in a comfortable workspace. Then another important is your career recognized globally. Most of the healthcare jobs, apart from doctors and few other coveted jobs, most of them are may not be recognized. So in medical coding, you get globally accepted, globally recognized certifications from AAPC, which stands for uh, American Academy of Professional Coders, and AHIMA, which I'll be showing you a bit later. So you get global certification, you get globally certified, you get globally recognized. So your career gets a push to the global level. You become a part of the global community. So now let's understand what are the certifications that you get. So before going to certification, I'll be telling you another thing, that whatever basic parameters of a career, what are you are looking for, what normally people look for, medical coding is everything. It has a competitive salary, it has stability and growth, it has the flexibility, it has high demand, because if your skill is not in demand in the market, no matter how much skilled you are or how good you are at your job, doesn't matter. The skill is in demand, in great demand. And also you get a rewarding experience, and of course the career is globally recognized. So these are the points that makes medical coding a highly rewarding and highly in demand career. Okay, now let's move to what are these global certification that you can get. These are the two certifying body in medical coding. One is AHIMA, which stands for American Health Information Management Association, and AAP, which are the two certifying body that gives you a globally recognized certification. And how you can clear it, I'll be discussing it in the next few slides. And we train you for this certified professional coder, which is a globally recognized in the gold standard of medical coding certification. Right? So you get the certification, you get global recognition, and your career is all set to fly. And these are the specimen of some certification you can see. Now, which are the companies that hire for you, and how your career path will look like? Once you start, you can start as a medical coding specialist, then you move up as a medical coding senior medical coding specialist, then you become a QC, then subject matter expert, and so on. Depending how you perform, you move on in the career path, and the career move is very smooth, provided you do your certifications, you perform well. The career path is really smooth, and career progression is very fast. So, who are the companies currently hiring actually, which we'll be discussing, and of course, what are the salary that they provide. But before that, it's very important that you need to know how to become a medical coder. Now that you know everything about it, that there are opportunities, you will be getting this, that. But the important thing is how you can become a medical coding specialist. This is a $1 million question. All you need to know, since you are from a pharmacy or a life science background, it makes your job a little easier to become a medical coding specialist, because these are the things that you need to learn as a medical coder. Medical coding guideline, medical terminology, medical anatomy and physiology. These are the basic standard, basic parameters of a medical coding course. To be a medical coder, you need to understand anatomy, physiology, medical terminology. Then you need to know ICD, CPT, then the business of medicine. So these are the things that you need to be trained on to become a medical coder. And let me tell you, these are there is nothing difficult about the course. All you need to understand and apply is your understanding of medical knowledge into other into medical coding field. So all that you need to do is understand medical terminology, how medical terminology is applied, as I showed you in that previous slide, that how we analyze the report. So to be a medical coder, these are the basic requisite, these are the basic course that you need to understand. And once you are familiar with all these things, which we do, which we help you uh, learn, which we train you on to understand everything, then you take up the course and you become a certified medical coder. Now, to understand this outcome of this program and what is the major outcome of this program. The outcome of this program is that this certification teaches you fundamentals of medical coding skills and how you can apply it when it comes to a hospital settings, or when you are employed with a medical coding company. That will give you an advantage of clear that will give you an advantage of applying your knowledge into medical code, so that you can perform your job as a medical coder in a proper way. Now let's understand what are the certification criteria of a medical code. CPC certification training. So this is the syllabus of a CPC certification training of how you can clear the CPC certification exam. I'll be making a separate video on the CPC certification exam and the entire syllabus. In this video, I'm not just to, the video will be very long, so I'm just giving you a brief that you need to pass 70, you need to score 70 out of 100 questions, that is 70%, then you can become a CPC certification, CPC certified professional. I'll be making a separate video on the CPC certification exam and how you can prepare for the CPC certification exam. I'll be making a separate video on this. Just to understand that you'll be getting 100 multiple questions, and it's an open book exam, so that you can take the exam with the open book, and there are offline and online exam facility available. So these are the books that are given you during the exam. Also during our course, also we provide you these books so that you can. And apart from that, you will also get another book which will be medical terminology and medical terminology and anatomy and physiology. So this is all about the books. Now let's see who are the companies that are hiring for medical coders. As I told you, coding is in great demand. There is a demand and supply gap. That means there are more jobs available, but there are less skilled coders, skilled professional, trained professionals. So these are the few top companies that we have listed here. United Health Group, there are Cognizant Technology, Tata Consultancy, Coro Health, Omega Healthcare, and there are more than 60, 70 companies that are actively hiring today. So are you ready to take advantage of this career? So right now, this is the great opportunity that you can take and get yourself trained in medical coding, so that one of these companies can hire you. And and help you grow in your career. So now let's understand uh, what are the career opportunity. Well, yes, now here you can see there are some job opportunities that advertise with the remote opportunity in Hyderabad. Then there is something that it's in medicine, and there are so many other companies. They are actively hiring. Actually, they are actively here. Cognizant is hiring for anesthesia medical coders, HCC medical coder. The average salary of a medical coder in Tata Consultancy is 6 lakhs per year, which to start with, it's a very good salary. So you just need to take advantage of the medical coding opportunities that are coming your way. All that you need to do is that get yourself trained and get ready for this opportunity. And if you want more details on it, you can just contact us on the number given in the screen, and one of our counselor will help you understand medical coding as a career and what are the things that you are supposed to do. We are here to help you out to take your next step forward and to help you grow in your career. So just call us, send us a message in WhatsApp or email us. There are various ways to get in touch with us, and will be helping you in whatever way we can. So that's it for today's in this video, and I hope you understood few things. And if there are any question or anything, you can just call us on this number, and we'll be happy to help you. Okay. See you on the other side. Thank you.